You are Locked On Knicks Postcast, part of Locked On Sports New York on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, we are back. It is the Knicks Postcast. It is the return, and we do so in style. A huge win for the Knicks over the Spurs at Madison Square Garden. Mikal Bridges, the stud. He scored 25. Of course, if you recall, the last time the Spurs played on Christmas at the Garden last season, well, Bridges pumped in 41 to help the Knicks to a victory. Well, he did it again today. Final score 114-89. And the Spurs' 11-game win streak is now history. They hadn't lost since January. They went 11 for 11 in February. Just the third time in franchise history that the Spurs went undefeated in a month. But now they start off March with a loss. Again, Knicks win at 114-89. Another double for Karl Anthony Towns. And, of course, Mikal Bridges and company, 6 different Knicks scored double-figure points. We'll break it all down coming up next. Hello, I'm Jay Berman, and welcome to the Knicks Postcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, now the #1 sports podcast network. The Postcast gives you a place to hang out after every single Knicks game. As we said, we're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team, every single day. And we'll get started right now.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so as we said, the Knicks win. Final score 114-89. The Knicks improved to 39-22. They've won 14 of 18. It's also win number 23 at home for New York. They're 23-8. They have the third most home wins in the NBA. So again, providing that the Knicks show up at the Garden, very difficult place to play for the visitors. This one got off to a slow start. As we said, the Knicks win by double digits. It was a little messy early. The Knicks were 3 of 18 from the field to start in the first quarter. They finished the first quarter, however, on a 15-2 run. Now, Victor Wembanyama, who of course has killed the Knicks in the past, first half of the first quarter looked pretty dominant. He gets taken out of the game by Mitch Johnson, of course, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. And the Knicks were able to crawl back into the game and then ultimately take the lead for good. In fact, the lead never went south of 8 points at any point in the second half today. The Knicks really stuck it to the Spurs. So a 26-2 run, late first quarter, early second quarter, essentially ended the game. The Spurs, again, never got within 8 after that point. And it's also interesting is that the Knicks are now 15-2, and they should be. But again, it bears repeating, 15-2 when leading by double digits at the half. And that's exactly what the score was today. Now, we talked about in the past how the Knicks have struggled with top teams. This is a top 5 team, the Spurs. Despite the loss, are now 43-17, nipping at the heels of the Oklahoma City Thunder for the top spot in the Western Conference. That being said, the Knicks are now 3-5 versus top 5 teams combined in both the Eastern and Western conferences. But again, more importantly, the Knicks, 1 win shy now of 40. They're 39-22. And as we said, 23-8 at home, and the Stars were out. If I see Larry David one more time on the Knicks broadcast, we get it. Larry David was in the house. That's a discussion for another day. Anyways, as we said, the Spurs were the hottest team in the sport, hottest team in basketball. They entered play today, winners of 11 in a row, their longest win streak in a decade. Just their third undefeated month in franchise history. They actually went 3 separate times, went an entire month without a loss. Now, that being said, the Knicks defense stuck it to them today. A season low in points for the Spurs. They scored just 89. Remember, during their 11-game win streak, they were averaging north of 125 per game. So a huge kudos belongs to the Knicks defense. So a season low in points for the Spurs, a season high in turnovers. Again, excellent work by the Knicks defense. 22 turnovers for the Spurs. Really, An amazing, amazing defensive performance. And as we said, Wemby was in there, a really good start for San Antonio. They got a pretty big lead early. He comes out. Now, he ultimately did play 34 minutes, but at the 6-minute mark of the first quarter, Johnson pulls Wembanyama, and the Knicks are back into the game. Now, look, obviously he's not going to play 45 minutes every night, but it just seemed like it was a quick pull on Victor Wembanyama coming out of the lineup. Now, he had 25, as did Mikal Bridges. As for the Knicks scores, Karl-Anthony Towns, yet another double-double. Seems like we've been talking about double-doubles with Cat ever since he got here. His NBA-leading 41st double-double. He had 12 points and 14 rebounds. Now, clearly, compared to last year, the shots are down for Towns. He took just 9 shots, 5 of 9 for his 12 points and 14 rebounds. But again, making his presence felt not only on the defensive end, but obviously the offensive glass where the Knicks do so well. Every starter had at least 2 offensive rebounds, obviously with the exception of Jalen Brunson, who didn't have any. But that being said, the Knicks get 25 from Mikal Bridges on 10 of 17 shooting, and that leads us to this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And without a doubt, it belongs to Mikal Bridges. As we said, Bridges played 33 minutes, 10 of 17 from the floor for 25 points, hit 5 3-pointers, and only committed 1 turnover. Also had 5 steals and 5 rebounds. So excellent work there from Mikal Bridges. As for Jalen Brunson, he had 24, only played 32 minutes, but he was excellent as well. By the way, one more note. I just went past it, and it needs mention. That is that Mikal Bridges, a plus 21. By far the best numbers of any player on the court today. Again, plus 21 when he was on the court. So Mikal Bridges, really one of the best games of the season for him. As for Brunson, he scored, as we said, 24 today. His average for points per game this season still north of 25. In fact, and they talked about it on the broadcast today, if he finishes with 25 or more points per game this season, he would be the first Knick to do that in 3 straight seasons ever. No Knick has ever scored more than 25 per game in 3 straight seasons. Brunson's points per game right now, right around 26. So if that holds up for the final however many games, 30 or so games to play, he again would be the first Knick ever to have 25 points per game averaged in 3 straight seasons. Bridges also connected on a couple of corner threes today. Every time he does, we got to bring it up. Now leads the NBA with 68 corner threes, had 2 more today. And kudos to Bridges. Not only is the player of the game today, but it was his 617th consecutive game played. Amazing stuff. And again, considering the slow start the Knicks went on at the top of the first quarter, well, if I had told you the Knicks would run away and essentially turn this into a laugher, you would have been surprised because, again, that slow start had the Knicks trailing the Spurs early. Wembanyama then comes out, Knicks forge ahead, and they never look back. And that's going to lead us to this.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
It's the turning point, and it's exactly when Mitch Johnson, the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, pulled Victor Wembanyama. Now, it was only in the first quarter, and it was only halfway through, but it seemed like a quick pull there. The Knicks got back into the game, take the lead by a lot, and never look back. So, again, that is your turning point of the game. All right, we'll take our break coming up right now. When we return, very interesting schedule looking forward for the Knicks. We'll do all that and more. Again, coming up on the Knicks Postcast, our first break. Let's do it. All right, let's tell you about Prize Picks. Shoot your shot on Prize Picks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right, Prize Picks is giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks makes every dunk, every dime, and every board that much more exciting. It's America's #1 app for sports picks. Prize Picks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. And if your picks are right, you can cash in. You can choose from basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, UFC, and more. Plus, they've got features like early payouts and flex play. So you've got options while the games are still happening. I downloaded the app and was surprised how easy it was to get started. It took just a couple of minutes to build my first lineup. I've been making NBA lineups all around players I already follow, picking more or less on points and assists, and it honestly makes every possession way more fun to watch. I also love the social feature where you can see what other people are playing and copy lineups with one click. It's a cool way to learn and build better picks. It's all available in 50 states, so it's easy for you just about anywhere you are to jump in. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. All right, next up is FanDuel. Ever wanted to experience the NBA Finals? Yes. Live and in person? Yes. FanDuel is giving you the chance to turn that dream into reality with their NBA sweepstakes. Here's how it works. Use your profit boost on NBA futures, and you'll automatically be entered for a shot to win an NBA Finals trip for 2. That's right. Flights, tickets, the entire experience. If you're already looking at the board and thinking about which team can make a deep run, this is the perfect time to lock it in. I love futures this time of year, whether it's picking a team to win the championship or grab a conference title. It adds that extra layer of excitement to every game down the stretch. And now, not only can you pick cash, but it could also send you to the finals. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. Use your profit boost on an NBA future and get entered for your chance to win a trip to the NBA Finals. Play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. And last but not least, TurboTax. Tax season doesn't have to take over your life. This year, TurboTax is making it easier than ever to just hand things off and move on with your day. With TurboTax full service, you can have your taxes done for you by a trusted local expert, start to finish, without the stress or guesswork. Instead of spending hours trying to figure out forms, you can meet with the local TurboTax expert in person or connect online. They handle everything from W-2s to self-employed forms and work to get you every deduction. You can upload your documents, go about your day, and get updates right in the TurboTax app. It's a huge time saver and gives real peace of mind knowing an expert is handling it. For a limited time, you can hand your taxes done by a local TurboTax expert for just $150 all in, if a TurboTax expert didn't file for you last year. Take taxes off your plate and get back to your life. Visit TurboTax.com/local to book your appointment today. All right, we are back. Final couple of minutes of the show. Let's go through the schedule because it gets real interesting for the Knicks. Next up, Tuesday in Toronto. That is a 7:30 tip time. As we said, the schedule is really interesting. In Toronto, home for Oklahoma City on Wednesday. That's a back-to-back situation. Then in Denver, in LA for the Lakers and Clippers, in Utah for the Jazz, in Indiana for the Pacers. So the next Knicks home game will be Wednesday against the Thunder after a back-to-back Tuesday and Wednesday. But the Knicks then head out west, and we got some late-night basketball coming up, including 2 in LA, Utah, Denver, and obviously the home game against Oklahoma City. Again, Knicks win 114-89. They improved to 39-22 overall. And as we said, the Knicks are now 23-8 at home, third most home wins in the NBA. Pardon me. And considering where the Knicks started today, 3 of 18 from the floor in a hole against Victor and the Spurs, well, things changed. And they changed quickly, and they changed for the good. The Knicks snapped the Spurs' 11-game win streak. They were the hottest team in the NBA no more. Again, as the Knicks win 114-89 to improve to 39-22. Before we get out of here, I want to mention our partners in crime over at Locked On Knicks. They handle all the stuff there, so it's great. Please follow, subscribe, and enjoy, again, all the stuff at Locked On Knicks. My name is Jay Berman. The postcasts have returned. Hallelujah. We'll do it after every single Knicks game. Again, my name is Jay Berman. Knicks win today. They beat the Spurs handily 114-89. We'll see you on Tuesday as the Knicks face the Raptors in Toronto. God bless.